Hello friends, Ashton here. So today's project is about a folder sharing application on Google Drive. Alright, here as you can see in the Google Sheet here, we have a menu called folder sharing, and if I open the add-on or application here, we have a dialog here. We can set up the sharing link for the folder. All right, so for the setup for me, okay, here we have two folders which can be shared. So if I select it, automate the borrowing, and here I can leave this as empty if I want to send this link to somebody, or like I want to send this to myself. So I put my email address here, and if I want to add another one, I can do the same, okay? So I just put another email address here. So we can basically send this to multiple people if you want. And here by default is expired going to be in 10 days. All right, so you can enter a number if you want. And if you want to make this link never expired, so you can put an unlimited here. And let's change it back to 10 days. And you can also set up a size limit for this upload link. All right, so for me, so you also can have a limit here, but it's default to 10. And so basically how many times you are allowed for this link to be uploaded. So every time when we upload it, when the user uploads something from the link, if we set up a times of upload allowed, we're going to reduce the times by 1. Okay, so let's set it up like 1 time, so we can run the test. And if you want to add a password, so the user needs to enter the password to enter the interface to upload the files, you can do that. So let's say automate the borrowing. And if you have spaces here like this, it's going to remove this space, okay, for you, just in case somebody entered some space for the password. It doesn't make sense for space in the password. And let's create this link. Okay, so the link is now created. As you can see here in our Google Sheet here, we have ID to this link for this record here, and we have a link here, and we have the folder ID here. So this is the size limit and valid to, I believe I selected 10 days. So this is the password, and I think I should be able to receive an email address, not email address, I should be able to receive a notification like this. Right, so this is the message sent to me, okay? So if you want to send this to another one, you just enter the email address there, and they should be able to see a similar message like this. And this is like a standard template. And we are going to have some information about this sharing link, and the size limit, uploads allowed, and the validate to. So after this after this timestamp, this link is invalid, all right? And this is the password you're going to need to upload files. So let's try to use this link and upload some files to this folder. So this folder is called automated borrowing. I have this folder set up here, all right? So I haven't tested uploads. Let me delete them. So you will see the result here. And in your email, if you click on automate, this button is going to open the upload interface for you. Since we have a password protection, if you remember, we have a password here set up, and you can go to your email and copy this password and enter it here. But if you add a wrong password, you'll get an error message like this, okay? So let's copy and paste the correct password here and try to enter the upload interface. So this is the interface for the end user. As you can see here, we have a upload area here. We have some basic information about this folder. You can upload files like the valid to, size limit, and uploads left. So we only have one chance right now here, because here we only have one. And this is the name of the folder. It depends on different folder you shared. And if you click, or you can drop, okay, if I open my folder here, my download folder, let's upload something here. If I drag this photo here, as you can see here, I have this file, and then you can keep dragging files here. If I drag this one, it's going to add 2 files here, and if I upload, it's going to need a while to upload the files here. And after it's done, now this is disabled, okay? That is because we don't have any, so basically the link is now inactive out of times of uploads allowed. So because we only have one chance to upload the files, so right now as you can see, if you check the database here, now the status now is inactive. So that means this link, so the user cannot upload the files anymore. And if I refresh this page, you will see a different result. And this is an invalid sharing link, so basically out of upload quota, and that means we don't have any code here to upload the files. Basically, you will see different error message if this is some kind of different error or different inactive status about the upload link. All right, so this is the whole process, and this is all about this application, and you can set it up for your end users. So the thing you need to do, so basically you can send this to anyone you like, and they don't have to have a Gmail account or something like that, any email. Just make sure they can receive your notification, and they don't have to have a Gmail account to use this application, okay? Even if they're not basically Google users, so they can still upload files to the folder. So if I go to the folder, I think I'll upload 2 files. Okay, 2 files, as you can see. Yes, that's about the introduction to the application. And the next part, I think I'm going to show you how to set it up on your Google Drive. Okay, to do that, so let me, I'm going to share this link with you so you can make a copy of the file. So it's going to be like this. So it's going to be a copy of my original project, and you make a copy of the original project to your Google Drive. Okay, and then you will see something like this. Okay, and something you need to do in this folders tab, you need to assign, basically you need to go to your, so any folder on your Google Drive, you just copy the URL. Okay, because right now these 2 URLs, they're my folders, so you don't have access to them, so you will not see. So if you didn't replace these 2 URLs, if you open the application, all right, for the first time you need to go through the authorization process, okay? So make sure you complete the authorization process. Click on Advanced. If you see something like this, close it and do it again. Continue. Select your account and click on Advanced. Go to Folder Sharing Application and Allow. Okay, so when you see this, you can close it and try to open it again. So there is no folders here, so like if I delete them and dismiss and reopen it, basically here you don't have any options in this select here, so no data available. So that means there is no folder here, or you don't have access to these folders. So make sure you update the folder URL. So you can either copy the URL, and I think you also can just put the ID here. It works both way. So let me copy this one as a link. And if I reopen this dialog, I should be able to see both folders in the dropdowns if everything works fine. So as you can see, invoice and automated debris. So that's basically the name of the folder, right? And this time I can try to use this one, invoice. So let's try to send a same email address to myself. Okay. And this time password is hello world. And let's create. Okay, so the share link has been sent to my email, I think. And as you can see here, the database is now created. Okay, so now this is the file we created. This is the email address. This is the email I should be received. And this is the password. And this is from this new application, okay, from here. And if I open this, I don't think it's going to work this way because we need to update something in this script. Okay. So even if we are generating this link, so if we go to this invoice, you will get an error message, invalid sharing ID. Okay, you will get an error message like this. That's because we need to do something in the code. So go to extensions and open AppScript. Because this endpoint is point to my original application, okay? So we need to update this endpoint to make it working. And if you open this project and go to app.js, and here in the configuration, you have this endpoint. So this endpoint, we need to replace it with our own, our new endpoint here. So this is the name of the application, so you can change. And this is the name for the tabs in our Google Sheet, like sharing links and folders. So if you prefer different names, you can update the name here. And you also need to update the tab names here and here. Okay. And this is the keyword for the unlimited, so don't change it. So to change the endpoint, first we need to get our own endpoint. To do that, we need to go to the deployment and new deployment. Since this is the first time we are deploying this as a web application. So make sure you select it, web app, and give that description. Maybe this is the first release or first revision, and execute it. So this should be your account here, and anyone should have access. Deploy it. After this deployment, you will get the endpoint to your web application here. Okay, so you can copy this link and make sure you replace the endpoint with the new one you just got. And after this save, remember you need to go to the manage deployments. Okay, where is my manage deployments? And you need to do the deployment again. That is because we did change endpoint, and we need to make sure this change is now deployed. Okay, so this is why we need to do this twice. So the first time is only to get the new deployment for your application, and the second time is to make sure the update is basically is refreshed in our application. Okay, so this time we're not doing this new deploy, we are manage deployments, and we edit our deployments and make sure this is a new version, and this is the second one. And if we're doing this, the link won't be changed. Okay, we still have the same link, but now we are at a new version. Okay, so deploy, and we should have the same link, not this one. Web app, copy it, and if you do search, you will see this is the link. No change, right? And in this way, we have the application set up. Okay, and now if we go to the folder sharing and create a new sharing link, and it should work, I think, if everything goes well. So let me delete this one. Invoice, and put my email here. Password like upload your invoice. Create. Okay, share links have been created and sent to users. We can close this dialog, and this is the link. Okay, this is the message, and sharing to this folder invoices, and this is the password. Let's make copy of the password and open the invoices. And this time we should see this kind of interface to enter the password. We just copy it and try to log in. And you see here, invoices is the folder name, valid to, size limit, and how many times left. So if I upload some files which is over the size limit, so you will see here is disabled for uploading because it's over the size limit. And if I try to, okay, so I think there is a bug here, so right now I cannot do anything, but we need to refresh the page because I disabled the uploads. So, but if in this case you need to refresh the page to solve the problem, and then you need to do the upload again. Alright, so let's try to upload something here. So let's upload this logo to the invoices folder. Let me check. So 3 files, and then we have this uploaded. It should be this one, I think, if I check the time. Should be a WhatsApp. This file cannot be opened. So let me try to do another upload. So we'll see the this logo here, and let me get rid of this. So you will see the result here. Oh, it's done. Okay, it's here. So that's the setup. Okay, so it's very easy to set up, I think. Just to make sure you have this endpoint replaced after the first deployment, and after you replace the endpoint, save the project and do another deployment. So after everything, you should see something like this, and the first deployment is archived, and you should have the second release, and then everything is set up. Okay, and you should be able to test it. And if everything here is marked as inactive, I think you can just delete it. If you don't want to keep them as a record here. Okay, so I think that's about this project, and you can try to use it. and let me know if any questions or issues. Thank you. Bye-bye.
But all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back